10 years, 8 days to be exact. And that's long enough. Now, the Canadian Destroyer is cashing this in. And you saw earlier on tonight, Josh Matthews, Matt Seidel. Matt Seidel got his butterfly wings now, so he gets to fly solo. So the way I see it, if I'm doing the math correctly, instead of 2 against 1, it's 1-on-1. So now my chance have drastically increased. So it's 66 and 2/3.
Forget your Canadian math. Your Canadian mile is a kilometer. Your fraction, my 5/8 is your 9/16. Our 2/3 is your 3/4. Forget the math. Your best chance is when you look like me, right? When's the most time you made love to your wife? When you look like me. She misses me, don't she? Tell your wife I said hi. Good luck, Pete.
Hey, oh, Scotty, after the show, Cracker Barrel?
You got it, Pete. Bring your wife.
I love this guy.
What the fuck was that? After the show, Cracker Barrel?
No, my favorite part was him yelling, "Bring your wife."
Say hi to your wife.
Oh my god, that was so unexpectedly funny. I didn't expect that.
Well, you know why he's got that.
Thank you for sending that, Sal. That was fantastic.
You know why he's got that big tattoo on his chest, right?
Why?
To cover up the scar he had from the surgery he had from his.
I think you were going to joke against us.
No. That's the reason why. To hide the scar.
All right, we have other things to go to.
What does that have to do with the superstar? What does that have to do with the superstar shakeup? Okay. That caught me completely off guard. I was not expecting that to play.
This is going to be part of our outtake reel. Yeah.
There was no reason I didn't want a palate cleanser. That's why I pressed that button for palate cleansing.
Can I make an observation? I just been looking at this list after everything else is all said and done. Is it safe to assume that SmackDown won the shakeup because they got the better people?
I agree with you. Let's do this. Sal, since we always debate over which one's the better show, I'll let you read the Raw side. Go ahead.
All right. So straight down to the end?
Go to the end, then I'll read the SmackDown side.
All right, so Raw received from SmackDown Jinder Mahal, who was the U.S. champ at the time, then winded up dropping the title later that night. They got the Riot Squad, obviously Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. Breezango, which I'm happy about. They got Natalya, obviously. Dolph Ziggler, who brought in Drew McIntyre from NXT, who looks absolutely more ripped than usual. They got the Ascension for some strange reason. Baron Corbin, boo. They got Bobby Roode, Zack Ryder, and Mojo Rawley for some strange reason. Chad Gable, boo. And Mike Kanellis, apparently.
I'm going to ask, what is your problem with Chad Gable? What is your problem with Chad Gable? I have to ask on the air. What is your problem with Chad Gable?
I hate his face. He just has that face that you just don't like, you know?
Okay, I just
want to smack him with my foot.
Okay, then. By the way, so I have a feeling they sent over some tag teams just because they realized that they completely stripped of the Raw tag team division. They put a Raw SmackDown and they put over the comedy teams and brought them over. I feel like that's what happened there. And Mike Kanellis, I forgot he was on the roster. I'm not going to lie. I forgot he was on the roster. Before we get to the SmackDown lineup, anything on the roster that surprises you, Dad, on this one?
Yeah. If you... The Hype Bros
but they're not together. They're separate.
But they're not the Hype Bros anymore.
Yeah, they're separate.
I know, but I mean, my thing is Zack Ryder, Mojo Rawley, you know...
The feud that never ends.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to go back there again.
That nobody cares about.
We're going to go back there again.
Well, the funny part is the feud that never ends that nobody cares about.
There you go.
That's the thing.
There you go. I think the one that really kind of mystified me is the Jinder Mahal.
Well, that one I get because I know Vince loves him. So putting him on Raw makes sense. Keep
because he draws legitimate heat.
Well, the funny part on Mahal for me is that I think he makes more sense on Raw because he's a big guy, and he can have big guy feuds over on Raw. Like not big guy as in like top guy. I mean big guy as in he's a big guy. You know what I mean? Like on SmackDown, he kind of stood out. Like they already have someone new on SmackDown that stands out as the big guy. They don't need another one. You know. And we'll get to SmackDown in a second.
Could you see him in a feud with Braun Strowman?
Yeah, so Braun Strowman can kill him. That's pretty much what that means.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that, too.
I'm okay with that.
So, as Sal said, though, Jinder Mahal was U.S. champion when he came over, and then he lost it in an impromptu match with Jeff Hardy. Like, impromptu, like, Kurt Angle told him while he was there, if you don't want an impromptu match, Jinder, don't come to the ring in your ring gear. That might be the problem here. Don't come to the ring in your ring gear.
Intent.
Yeah, so SmackDown, though. SmackDown got The Miz, which is great. I think that's fantastic. They also got Jeff Hardy. After winning the U.S. title, he went to SmackDown. They got Absolution, which should surprise absolutely nobody. Because of Paige being the GM now, so that shouldn't surprise anybody whatsoever. They got Samoa Joe. They got Asuka, which doesn't surprise anybody, because she kind of beat everybody on Raw, so might as well put her on SmackDown now. Coming back from injury, they got Big Cass, who, by the way, cut the best promo of his fucking life this past Tuesday. Like, oh my God. He cut this promo where I'm like, okay, somebody spent a lot of time in promo class in the Performance Center while he was rehabbing. Because that was incredible. Like, oh my God, where did this come from? It was that good. Like, I did not expect that from Big Cass. Like, he told this straight up heel promo explaining why he hates Daniel Bryan. I'm like, you can't explain it better. Like, it was such a well-done
Why?
promo.
We have The Miz there now. Why do we need him to hate
No,
Daniel
the reason,
Bryan?
and it was a valid heel logic. Heel logic. Daniel Bryan, when he announced he was coming out of retirement and was cleared to wrestle, in the storyline for Big Cass was the same day Big Cass was cleared to wrestle and he was overshadowed.
Oh, okay.
And it was the most stupid reason, but in heel logic, it makes sense. So he's about to kick his ass. So he's about to kick his ass. I'm like, okay. And we're doing that match at Backlash. So there you go.
But the other thing, too, is when Big Cass was with a person whom we're not going to
We can say
mention.
Enzo. Say his name, Enzo.
Okay, Enzo.
Enzo, who, by the way, put up an Instagram tweet saying goodbye to WWE, and he's feeling better. By the way, just want to note that.
Okay.
I mean, Enzo was the mouthpiece.
Enzo Cass never had a chance to talk.
Yeah.
And this is amazing. I'm like, where did this Cass come from? Even before he got hurt, he didn't cut promos that good. You're like, this was fantastic. Like, it was a nice surprise.
Good.
So anyway, the bar is now on SmackDown. I didn't expect this one. This was for me. I did not expect that. What? What was that, Sal?
You skipped Asuka.
No, I didn't. I said Oscar already. I said Asuka.
Oh, did you? Oh,
I did.
never mind.
And then we had Gallows and Anderson. They're coming over, and they teamed up with AJ on Tuesday, so that's pretty cool.
Nice.
R-Truth moved over and forgot what show he was on. Legitimately forgot what show he was on. He got introduced. He was talking to Ty Dillinger in the back. Apparently, him and Ty Dillinger are friends, apparently. And he said, I'm glad to be here, talking to the New Day and Ty Dillinger, here on Monday Night Raw. And then Ty clarified they were on SmackDown, and he's like, okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and leaves.
Sorry about your damn luck.
And then we had two calls from NXT. First of all, this is the one that written out of NXT this week. So, Sanity, without Nikki Cross, is coming up to the main roster. Mm-hmm. Who, by the way, got beat up by Aleister Black this week on NXT. So there you go. That was a way of writing them out. By the way, I love the fact that I'm watching NXT. We're supposed to have Gargano versus Aleister Black. Gargano gets chumped by Ciampa. So they don't have the match. Then we have an impromptu Aleister Black Eric Young match for the title. It was so random. It's so ridiculous. But it was a way of writing off Sanity. But more importantly to me, Andre Cien Almas is coming over to SmackDown with Zelina Vega. And I'm excited because WWE has wanted a Latino star on the roster for a very, very long time. And they failed with Del Rio. They haven't had one since Eddie and Ray. So here's your chance. You got two to make something out of this.
There you
this
go.
would be great.
There you go.
Sal, your thoughts?
I mean, he fits there. I mean, I think if he went to Raw, he would have been completely, thrown to the back burner. So I'm glad that they chose to put him on SmackDown because I think he'll have a better shot at continuing the success that he's had down in NXT.
For those who missed SmackDown this week, they did it. He wasn't on the show yet. What they did was they played a video package, hyping him up that was narrated by Selena. So that was really cool.
Oh, nice.
That was really cool. The nice video package highlighting him. The only thing you heard him say was his catchphrase, but everything else was narrated by her, kind of saying, look, I'm part of this act and you're going to have to deal with it. So live with it. He has a manager, live with it, kind of thing. You know? So that's fun. And we'll get more into all that as the months go on, because I know this is just the beginning. It's going to be a great year. Any other thoughts coming out of the Superstar Shakeup, Sal?
No, I mean, I think it was well done. I'm glad we didn't do, like, the whole big, let's start picking names out of a turn thing.
Yes,
and,
I'm glad that those days are past us. Those days are past us. I'm happy about that.
Yeah. But other than that, I mean, I think it's good. Like I said, I think SmackDown definitely won the shakeup because they got the bigger stars versus Raw. But then this is an opportunity for... Yeah. But this is an opportunity for Raw to really start, building up some of this, some of their new people, so...
Yeah, and the fun part was, like I said on SmackDown, they kept their core. They kept Nakamura and AJ and Daniel Bryan. And they even kept Charlotte and Becky and all them. Like, they kept everybody over there. That's their big stars on SmackDown. Like, that's a big deal.
Right.
So,
what do you guys think about No Way Jose?
Oh, we mentioned him before on the North Media call-ups. I don't know. He's in a feud with Baron Corbin for no reason whatsoever. I don't understand what's going on.
I mean, is this like a Latino version of Adam Rose?
Well, don't tell them, because apparently Booker T said it's an Adam Rose ripoff, and everyone got really mad at him on TV this week.
Who said that?
Well,
Booker T. Of course Booker T said that. Of course Booker T would say that.
I mean, if it's
and he wouldn't let it go. And he wouldn't let it go. And Cole yelled at him. Like, Cole yelled at him. Like, Cole was going to be mad at him for that one.
Wow.
It takes a lot for Cole to go over the edge. Like, that was bad. Oh, wow. I'm glad it was a one-week only thing. Coach will be back next week. I'm so glad.
Hey, and I also got some information about somebody getting a upgrade on their entrance music.
We'll get there. We aren't there yet.
Well, no, I'm just saying that. Did you guys all get the same thing?
What are we talking? Are we talking about Shinsuke?
I don't know. Are we?
That's what I'm talking about. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay.
We'll get there. We'll
Wait,
play that.
That's what we were talking about. We just played the song.
Well, I played a little bit at the beginning, but I have more to that. There's more to this. I have more, and I'll
okay.
send it to you in a minute. Sal. But before we get into that,
Yeah.
how is it WWE goes to Saudi Arabia and suddenly they have an awesome rock song as their theme song? Like,
Why not?
We got Godsmack to do this. Like, come on. They must have given some of the $20 million to do this.
This is Godsmack?
This is Godsmack. This is awesome. This is
Wow.
It's really great. I haven't listened to Godsmack. I used to be obsessed with Godsmack when, like, America's in Jersey. I loved it. It's a great song. This is when Legend rise.
If this is posting on Friday, so new album out today.
Yes, so this is when Legends Rise by Godsmack. I like this a lot. So that is the theme song for the greatest Royal Rumble Network special in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Whatever. But anyway, this is going up on Friday morning. Just so people note, this is starting at 11 o'clock kickoff show, Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central Time. So right after you're done with this, go and listen to that. Go watch that if you really want to watch an hour kickoff show. I don't. Because there's not going to be any matches. This is going to be them talking for an hour in Saudi Arabia with no females. All right, we'll get to that. And also, showtime is 12 noon Eastern Time, 11 o'clock Central Time. A quick note, if you don't want spoilers, if you're like for me, I will not be able to watch this show at work. I do plan on watching it when I get home because CJ wants to watch the show. And it's a Friday, he has no homework. So I promised him when we get home, I'll put the network on and we'll watch it from the beginning when we get home. If you don't want notifications and you don't want spoilers, there are two things you got to do. Number one, on your WWE Network, on your WWE app, turn off your notifications because they will spoil it, and you know they will. The other thing you have to do, if you have the ESPN app, this is the one people forget about. If you have the ESPN app and you follow WWE there, I know I do, just because it's part of my ESPN app. I just clicked on it. I don't actually read the stories much, but it's there. Turn off those notifications too, because ESPN doesn't give a fuck, and they'll spoil you too. So those are the two things you got to do if you don't want to get spoiled on today when you hear this show. But we'll get into this. Before we get into the show, the question that's in everybody's mind: what are your thoughts on the women not being on this show? and they're going to be still doing a show despite the fact they couldn't bring their women right in the middle of the Women's Revolution. I'm torn in the middle.